My little guy's not quite 3, a little past 2.5. It's the wheelhouse where the whole world's opening up.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that I wouldn't know if I'd use the word struggle, but, you know, I say this to my wife, and I think about this a lot, probably far more sensitive than I come across on the show when I'm, you know, letting it rip about sports or we're acting like a maniac. But, like, you know, this is such a great age, and you want to hold on to it forever. And it's like sometimes you're tired, and you just have to blast through a day. You're like, get me to bed, get the kid to bed.
Yeah.
But then you wind up wishing days away, and I'm really aware not to do that. It's a delicate dance to walk because 2.5, 3 is magical. But everybody tells me it gets better, and it gets better, and it gets better.
I feel like it does, but it just gets different.
Yeah.
It gets different, but it's always very special, you know, to me. I mean, I've got one that's 9 now, and he's getting into that whole, you know, he's feeling awkward sometimes, and he's, you know, his friends now are having influences on him. I'm seeing that, you know, and I'm seeing, you know, we're going into our whole new challenges of that. But he also now there's like I'm starting to see more of a connection, like a true like daddy son. I have now more of an opportunity to like we can be boys, like we can be tight. Like when they're 3, when they're 2, they're just like, Dad, let me do, you know, like. Yeah. But now he's getting to an age where now I can tell now's the time to really connect with him hard, you know, and so that when he is older, you know, and he gets in trouble, he's not gonna be afraid to call me. He'll be like, Daddy, listen, this is what I did.
Yeah.
Like
he comprehends what you do for
you
a
know,
living.
yeah,
also.
for sure.
And does he get that from his friends? You know what I mean? Because I'll give you an example. So John Bon Jovi's a big Giants fan, right? And he lives down in South Jersey. And he came up, did something for the Giants once. And then he asked me to go to his kids' football banquet. This is when I was still playing. So they all knew who I was. And I walk in, and they're like, Tiki. And I'm like, do you not know who that man is? Right? That's John Bon Jovi. Right? I imagine that happens to you, especially in Tennessee. It has to, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit. And the other day we were on vacation, you know, and my son comes up and he had met like a buddy, and his buddy comes up. He goes, "Hey, so and they had just met, like we were in like pool, like outside little resort thing, and he's like, "Hey, so Dakota just told me that you're a country singer." I'm like, Dakota, like I'm trying to sit around the pool. So next thing I know, I'm taking pictures with the lifeguards, and you know, but he knows, and but I'm also don't take him on the road a whole lot. I try to make that special. I don't want them feeling like that's the normal thing in their life. You know what I'm saying? And we try to really keep them as grounded and as home as possible. And so, it happens. It happens. They get it.
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. But you gotta try to flip that, you know, and make sure that it doesn't go too far. That they understand. Like, hey, are we special? No, we're not special, dude. We're not special. We're blessed, you know. I got a good job. I get to do what I love. We might end up in a different place over here, you know, but that doesn't not mean we're special.
Because we didn't start there.
Right.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
what you have to have.
I mean, you're special, son, but you're special because you're special, not because, you know.
Yeah, daddy's.
And so, we're working on that now. That he's actually we're just going through that this week.
This week? Wow, topical. Good question there, buddy. Lee Brice with us here on Tiki and Tierney. So before I ask you about your Titans and a real, and I guess by extension, you Panthers, we'll give you both teams here. I saw Guns N' Roses the other night at the Garden. And they were still rocking. I was 4 rows deep. It was insane. It was really, I felt it the next day, right?
Was Slash there?
Yeah, man.
Dude.
How you go see Guns N' Roses?
Well, I was going to say, I just didn't know if they're all back together or what.
It was awesome.
Man.
So my question for you is, non-country Western, if you had to reach into your pocket to see one all-time concert, non-country, who would it be?
Man.
Are you a Stones guy? Are you a Zeppelin guy?
Yeah,
something
what were your
more
influences?
Yeah,
when you were young.
You know, actually, now this isn't necessarily a concert I would go see, but my influences growing up, you know, I was kind of a softie. I grew up like in church, gospel music and stuff, so I loved singers. So like in the country world, it was like Vince Gill, people who could really, really sing, you know, but then like, so there was like Whitney Houston, Boyz II Men, and Brian McKnight. And like, I'd hear these singers. I mean, I'm saying like, that's what I grew up. I'd hear them singing and be like, I would imitate and try to do that stuff. And because they were just bad to the bone, you know, they just sang. And so
George Thorogood,
maybe that's why, right? That's why maybe and see, I didn't really understand at that time that, you know, the singers like Zeppelin and people like that, they were singing too. They just were singing rock songs.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just I kind of leaned towards like the ballady kind of stuff. So like Guns N' Roses, you know, I like November Rain. You know what I'm saying?
I love November
and like
Rain.
I love the melody of
Don't
the solo.
Cry.
You know, I like that stuff. You know, and but I mean the concert, man, that's pretty tough. I'm so glad that I got to see Petty. I got to see him like, I mean. So I guess it was like 8 weeks ago. I mean,
was that the first time you saw Tom Petty?
I'd never seen him before.
Wow, you got it.
He was in Nashville.
Oh, that's awesome.
I went to see him, and it was awesome. I mean, you know, he just like they do a song, you don't even know what's coming, and it's like this. You think it's like a between song thing, and it's not. It's this long intro, and then like then when they get done, like they'll do an outro. They might just stop, and then he'll go back to the drummer, and like he'll just go talk to him, and they just decide, and like in the moment, like, hey, what do you want to play? Okay, he'll just start on the guitar. I'm like, see, I wish I could be that relaxed on stage. I mean, this dude, you know, he was special, man, truly. And
that's awesome that you got to see.
You know, because I mean, that's like the epitome to me between like rock and roll and country and like Southern rock. It all kind of, you know, he's cool, man. He's the epitome of a rock star.
Now, your idol athlete was who growing up?
Well, I mean, Bo Jackson was a big one for me. You know, Nolan Ryan. I used to love him. I mean, I got a jersey signed of him when we had Old Boy in the headline.
Oh, Robin Ventura.
Yeah, that's right.
My in-laws were at that game.
Are you serious?
My wife's parents at the old Arlington Stadium when Nolan Ryan beat. I told you when he beat the crap out of Robin Ventura.
Wow.
Yeah, Becky and Fred were at the game.
Dude, my manager went and knows him through a couple folks. He's from Texas and came back. So Nolan signed it. I had a record that came out called Hard to Love, and Nolan signed it. You know, Lee. Some wins are harder than others, and it's a picture of him, and it's like this big, you know, just whooping on himself.
That's
and he's like signing it. So I was like, yeah, I got it on my. I was a big fan of him, but you know, Bo Jackson was something special to me. It's funny because my 9-year-old now, he asks me those questions, and I tell him, he's like, ooh, and so now he's like past like Pokemon stuff, and he's like wanting to get a Bo Jackson card, you know, and learn about that kind of stuff.
See, the good thing is with YouTube and everything else, you can find all this stuff. That's right.
You can't. He's like, boom, on the thing. I'm like, wow, I never even really watched these highlights in forever.
But here's what you got to do, and I know you do this as well. My dad did this all the time. I mean, I would just, and obviously this is why I do what I do for a living, I would just ask a million questions about sports, and he would always incorporate. He would never just. You know, a lot of people have a tendency, like LeBron, they forget about Oscar Robertson, or you know what I'm saying, or you watch. You know, you watch Le'Veon Bell now, you forget about Walter Payton or Jim Brown or whomever. But you have to connect the lineage of greatness. And, you know, if Jim Brown played today, he'd still be the best because he'd have access to everything. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. You got to teach him everything as well.
And you teach him that. And also, you know, I've been encouraging him to, like, not just, you know, I want him to, like, study about it a little bit. When he gets a card, I don't want him I want him to do like I did. I'd like look at stats and
absolutely,
and like read that stuff. When was his rookie year? And so I'm teaching him these little things. And I mean, I think a lot of kids these days don't even think about a baseball or football card or anything like that. They're so much on their iPads and so much on that stuff that they kind of forget about some of that tangible stuff. And I even, you know, I just really want to encourage them to be into the sport and like not get lazy.
And not just the video game nonsense, the actual sport. All right, Lee, before we let you go, and we could do this all night, but we will see you tomorrow night, as we said, at the PlayStation Theater at the concert. Real quick, give us the final prediction for your Titans. And we're going to go with the Titans and forget about the Panthers. We're going to go with the Titans.
Well, you know, so my fantasy league I've let it just go because I have been working on this record, so I haven't been able to keep up. All I have really been keeping up with is the fact that Mariota came back last week, and you know, and that's
played in the pocket.
It's like when he's there, you know, we're there, you know, and so I haven't been able to keep up with it a whole lot about the Titans. Actually, you know what I've been watching this year is funny. Like I'm such a Clemson fan, is I've been watching like Deshaun Watson, even though I'm not a Houston fan.
So now he's gonna have a third team.
I'm not a Houston fan, right? I'm not a Houston fan, but like I'm
you're tied.
So in love with like watching like him through the last 4 years, and then I was so curious, and now I watch him, and he looks like, you know, he's got that calm thing that he had his very first time he stepped on the field at Clemson that I think is the reason why he's the quarterback he is. And I have a feeling it's going to be the reason why he could be great. He really could be if he keeps that calm factor about him.
The problem is,
I've been
the
watching.
problem is he's in the same division as your Texans.
Right, I know that's true.
You're gonna have to pick one. You have to pick one to get off the pot at some
so
point.
I like watched Deshaun, but I hadn't been able to watch a whole lot of my Titans this year because
We'll forgive you
because I've been working, man.
Well, listen, that's why you're here. If you weren't working, we wouldn't know who Lee Brice is. We that long snapper at Clemson back in the late 90s.
Right?
But listen, if your fans know you are an ardent sports fan, so those who may have just learned about you today on our show, obviously go. You can get all the music. The CD's entitled Lee Brice, the song Boy, if you're a dad or if you have a great relationship with your dad and you just want to, be sentimental, whatever it is, it'll really tug at your heartstrings. I don't care how tough you think you are. If you don't get tears in the eyes, you're not human.
You're the man.
I love you, man. I really, admittedly, I am a new fan, but I am now officially a fan.
Man, that's
slowly
awesome.
but surely, everybody comes
Look
to
at you
country.
coming around. And let's
Everybody
face
comes
it,
to country.
Tiki, my man.
but they got it on lockdown. What do they sing about? They sing about childhood.
Yeah.
They sing about sex. They sing about whiskey, and they sing about death. So they got it on lockdown. How could
That's
you not
right.
pump out music when you
He
write about
stopped
those
loving
things?
her.
Hey, listen, we'll see you tomorrow night,
All right, brother.
Great
Good to
meeting you.
see
Lee
you.
Brice,
Yes, sir.
awesome, man. Thank you very much.